All right, what's going on, everyone? Happy Monday, and welcome back to another edition of our Monday night online open mic presented by the Barbed Wire Open Mic series. We are based out of El Paso, Texas, and because of the internet, because of technology, we get to join people from all over the country, all over the world. This is our Zoom show that we've been doing since April of 2020, every single Monday, open to poets, writers, musicians, instrumentalists. So if you guys are tuning in and want to join us, there's still room on the list. The link to sign up is in the description of the video, along with the other helpful links, including if you're an EPCC student looking for a Tejano passport code, you know how to do that. And of course, if you want to buy merch, find other links, check out our shows, it's all there. My name is Richie. I'll be your MC and host tonight. And of course, just to kind of get things started, if you are in the El Paso area, we do have in-person open mics up to two or three almost every week at this point. So here's what's going on this week. All right, Tuesday night we're going to be downtown once again at Rosewood Bar, right there on San Antonio Street, and is right between La Bang Bang and Mono Bar. And sign up starts at 8 p.m. Show starts after 9 p.m. And that will be hosted by Dorima, who is here today in our Zoom room to read a little something. So that's always exciting. When we get usually it's someone who we meet here and then we meet in person. Here it's kind of the opposite of that. So welcome Dorimar, who is an awesome host. We'll be there Tuesday. Wednesday, we are going to have the return of Storycraft at Crown of Crows. That is our storytelling night, Storycraft. That is also located downtown El Paso on the corner of Myrtle and Ochoa. It's a cool little tavern style themed bar. And for that open mic, you get to sign up. You sign up by putting your name on a piece of paper into a golden chalice. And if your name is pulled, you get up to 15 minutes to share some storytelling, some stories, we get a pretty good variety. So come on through. We try and get at least four people per night, and that 15 minutes is followed by up to 15 minutes of crowd feedback and Q&A. It's a really good opportunity to get some, if you're wanting to get some other ears and eyes on your work, you can get some feedback. Thursday, we will be at Old Sheepdog Brewery. That is confirmed. I think last week I made it seem like it wasn't and it hadn't been. But yes, this Thursday, come join us for our open mic at Old Sheepdog Brewery, 3900 Rosa Avenue. That is hosted by Kit Ren, who is also in this room, aka Mr. Monday Night, has not missed a single one of these since day one, the unaired pilot. So sign up for that. Starts at 7. Like I said, there's food, there's art galleries nearby, so it's pretty fun hangout as well. And just as a heads up, next Monday, we're going to have our poetry potluck, our pre-Thanksgiving online show where we encourage people to read one another's pieces. I'll let Kit talk more about that. My favorite tagline for that is just, at a potluck, everyone brings their own dishes. At the poetry potluck, you bring your own pieces to dish out. All right. So other than that, if you guys are here with us, say hello in the live chat. It's always nice to know who is here with us, who's tuning in. And if you hear a line that you love, if there's a poem that you really love, if you learn something new, if you're introduced to a new poet, let us know. It's all about sharing our art and learning more. And with that said, let's just dive right into it. We're gonna go ahead and kick things off as we've done many times before in Denver. Yes, this is not a mic check, and I'm checking the screen and I see a mic. We got Michael Sindler right next on the. Geez, go ahead and kick it off, man. Good to see you.
Okay. We're all here. We're all working together. It's a good thing. And I will put my typical lighthousewriters.org thing there. Something well worth checking out. They have all kinds of classes and workshops and various other stuff that I highly recommend. Um, Moving on, I wanted to read a couple of things here. This one is Abbas and Darian. It's called Going Cohen on You. All life springs from the same source. Before and after meet in eternity. Control is chaos in disguise. Despair breaks on the shore of peace. Each atom sings in harmony. Finite thought grasps shadows, grapples with illusion, hanging in balance between integers of the golden mean. Journey from and to the core, knowledge, a devalued coin lent or spent, measure for measure, nectar and necropolis, particles dance in spirals, questions ask the unanswerable, revolution is repetition, sound swallowed by silence, tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow. Under and over and over and under vectors meet at point of angel's pin. Whole consumes parts. X marks the spot that remains in motion. Yes, kisses no. Both laugh tears. Zero is a circle encompassing the sum of it all. And I'm going to do another old one just mainly because it sort of works with the hat poem I'm going to do. So this is called Flying. He decided to learn to fly, not how to pilot an airplane or a helicopter. He wanted to fly. He wasn't big on unnecessary risks. He decided not to do anything stupid like throw himself off a building or cliff. He would start slow and build up to it. Excuse me. He picked a spot and named it his launch pad. He swept it until it was a clean and tidy piece of earth with no pebbles or twigs to stick in his feet. He put on his lightest silk pajamas and called them his flight suit. Standing in the center of his launch pad, he took several deep breaths and then jumped. He jumped straight up, then came down in the same spot. He'd only jumped a couple of inches, but he had left the ground. He took a few more deep breaths and then jumped again. He repeated the procedure once more. After 3 jumps, he was happy with his efforts. He went about the rest of his daily routine, feeling better for having left the Earth's surface 3 times. The next day, he swept his launch pad clean and jumped 3 more times. The next day, he did the same. Day after day, he would jump 3 times and carry on with whatever jobs and chores the day had in store for him. This went on for months. At one point, the launch pad had been jumped on so many times that it had become a hole. He filled the hole with fresh dirt, tamped it down, and then did his daily jumps. Not a day went by when he did not jump, no matter the weather or his health or how busy he was with obligations. Each day he would put on his flight suit, go to the launch pad, and jump. Some in town laughed, some thought it was charming. Some wished him well when they saw him, offering their hopes he would eventually fly. He didn't distinguish between these camps. After his daily jumps, he met all with a kind smile as he went about his daily chores. After the first year, some were inspired by his consistency and attitude and made their own launch pads. They too started to jump 3 times each morning before starting their daily grind. Some soon stopped, and some kept up the practice. After 2 years, there were dozens of people starting their day jumping 3 times in the air as high as they could. One day, the man did not come into town. He did not come the next day either. The townspeople went to investigate. At his launch pad, they found his flight suit pajamas in a heap right at the very center. They looked all around, but the man was nowhere to be seen. Someone looked up and saw something in the air. Perhaps it was a large bird, and perhaps not. After that, everyone in the village jumped together every morning. After their jumping, they smiled ethereal smiles. They went about their day with a lightness in their step and graceful air whenever they met one another. If one didn't know better, one might even think they were flying. And I know that was a little long, but I am going to do this by the widely loved Mary Oliver, called Starlings in Winter. Chunky and noisy, but with stars in their black feathers, they spring from the telephone wire, and instantly they're acrobats in the freezing wind. And now, in the theater of air, they swing over buildings, dipping and rising. They float like one stippled star that opens, becomes for a moment fragmented, then closes again as you watch and you try, but you simply can't imagine how they do it with no articulated instruction, no pause, only the silent confirmation that they are this notable thing, this wheel of many parts that can rise and spin over and over again, full of gorgeous life. Ah, world, what lessons you prepare for us, even in the leafless winter, even in the ashy city. I am thinking now of grief and of getting past it. I feel my boots trying to leave the ground, feel my heart pumping hard. I want to think again of dangerous and noble things. I want to be light and frolicsome. I want to be improbable, beautiful, and afraid of nothing, as though I had wings. Okay, thank y'all very much.
Awesome. Thank you, Mike. As always, man, great reading and appreciate the cover. It works out. And for the uninitiated, the cover, the lid, right? If you do a cover poem, it's fun to put on a different hat. That's kind of thing you might notice throughout the show. But we're going to go ahead and come back to El Paso for our next performer. And he's a master of the Jedi enchantment, the Vulcan Volta, all sorts of poetic techniques coming from the sci fi world. It's time for Ed Gonzalez Jedi. All right, when you're ready, man, take it away.
Oh, well, thank you for that lead in, Richie. Thank you, thank you. Let's see. Well, I just wanted to start off by mentioning the wonderful t-shirts, the wonderful swag for BWOMS. Check the website. If not, you can check. Yeah, it's pretty much it's all there. That's where I got my stuff. So if not, if you have any questions, you can always ask Richie. Um, Other than that, happy Monday, everybody. Also, start out with gratitude for BWOMS and Richie and Kit for making this platform. You guys make everyone's Mondays great. Just also wanted to give a shout out to Jez. Last Thursday was amazing at Rally Point. I had a great time as always. And amazing coffee. Um, and full bar, I think, pretty much. So if you get a chance, you should get out there. It's pretty awesome. My first one, I have got two of mine, and I got two covers. The first one was actually one from last Saturday's Tumble Words with the great Kathy McCoy. Was amazing. I got this great good stuff, and I also been digging through the archives, and I sort of re-edited one of my old ones, and like I said, two covers. And I'm gonna go ahead and get started with my Tumble Words. This one's entitled Questions. This, like many things, real and imaginary, like the door you place at the base of a tree for the fairies to get in and out. Or the imaginary bucket list, obviously selfish and coveting a bunch of imaginary shit that you don't even have or you may not even have. But finally, as we ripen like fine tequila, How one day after receiving another tin painted gold 10-year pin from a corporation who couldn't give a frog's fat ass about us. I get back to my original thought. I had cast my bucket list aside for living a life of supporting others. I just need my tools to be able to help others. And I need less things, but I could not be happier. All right, that's the first one. And this is an old one. This is actually a true story. It was a big round of storms that were rolling in from one of those past hurricanes, but this is a true story. This one's entitled Stoplight Symphony. Fumbling around in my keys, I'd feel a ring. I grabbed my keys, I slid into the door. It had been a long 9-hour day. And as Fridays are especially brutal when you work with the public. Large sigh is written down there. I put my car in gear, took my truck in gear and a whirl around, checking my side mirrors and my outside mirror to view where I'm going. And going forward, I hit the street light as I reached for my radio knob. I felt the click with my fingertips and my ears. Ha! Such a delight as the familiar beats of the beginning of In the Air Tonight by Phil Collins. I pull up to the light as lightning flashes in the distance, followed by rumbles as I reach for my air drumsticks and begin playing. Continuing a lifelong tradition of air drumming and accompanying vocals. Just then a car pulls up next to me in the lane next to me, and listening to a master class of music. I am drumming. A woman pulls up next to me in her car, already in full vocals of the same song. I nod knowingly as she cranks up her radio. I follow suit. And just as I hit the second chorus, she grips her microphone, and I match her timing with my drums. Then the signal light beams green. We both drive off singing and drumming at the top of our lungs. I love this universe. Okay. True story. Okay, and I'm going to start off with my covers. This one by EPCC QR. If you don't got it, better get it. It's good stuff. This was entitled Black Eyed Susans. This one's for Freddie Gray. There were riots blooming in the Baltimore sun, bouquets of rage and fists of our sons, orchids of outrage in the shouts of our moms, daisies of distress in the songs of our daughters, empty fields in the house of the forefathers, freedom flowers in the streets to proclaim justice. We do not need permission to protest, nor the barrel of your gun in our chest, to let the world know we exist. This is the ground being set on fire, for the soil was infertile, and the weeds were rising. In the blood was been spilled. Seeds were planted, and these were the roots of redemption taking hold. These are the shoots reincarnated of leaves of gold, and this is your American spring and the people's uprising. Iris de Anda. Great stuff. And for my final piece is from You Are Here. I'm pretty sure it's a bunch of different pieces by Ada Limon. And as soon as I dig it out, but this particular one was written by Jose Olivares. You must be present. I say to myself when what wears all up in the how now. Trees, I turn to the trees for relief, and they say, nah, don't look at us. You don't even know our names. You don't even know the difference between an oak tree and a maple tree. It's true. My relationship with love, nature, money, fill in the blank. It is like my relationship to weather. I only see it when it's pouring on my head. I'm sorry to the trees I grew up with. I never asked. I never learned. And I ever wondered about their names and their families and their longings. And I only dream of me. Climbing onto their shoulders, honestly, I was a ladybug to them. Only heavier and more annoying. Those trees I grew up with were generations older than me. They were practiced at living in that way. I never understood all that I could imagine was the view from their crown, oak trees. They were oak trees with their own history of migration, a rooted Calumet City, like me. If I had asked them for wouldn't have understood sunlight, water, sunlight, water, sunlight, water. That was Jose Olivares from Ada Limon's book. And ending here, thank you very much. Always gratitude, gratitude. Just remember, make time for yourself every day, even if it's a few minutes, even if it's a few breaths. Self-care. Peace and love.
All right, thank you, Ed. And I always make sure to immediately heed that advice every time you dish it. You know, every time you say it, I'm like, okay, quick, take a quick breath before I come back on the mic. So it's great to have the reminder. I appreciate it, man. Live long and prosper. All right. I want to say shout out to Jose Olivares, by the way, too. Homie right there. He came was awesome when he came to El Paso the last time and got to read with us. Anyway, okay, we're gonna keep this night moving along. Again, if you are tuning in, welcome to our online open mic. We do this every Monday online. You can join us from the comfort of your homes, or I don't know if you're out late in your office, or if you're in another part of the world and before you go off to work, spit a little something. So we're gonna go ahead and go to South Euclid, Ohio. Where up next we have Doc Janning, keeping it cool as always. All right, Doc, when you're ready, go and take it away.
Trying to unmute here. Okay, I have 3 for you tonight. The first one is something I'm known for, my love poetry. The title is Darshan. In the silence of your eyes, I see the wisdom of the ages and its serene glow in the infinity of your soul and the music of your heart. And I am translated by love. Shambhala. Unspoken words, the poetry of love, cloister in my heart. They await your touch, that they may fly and soar to you in ecstasy and joy, to carry us to another land, a land of peace, a world of love, a place of soft light where love warms with gentle passion, with Tonglen and Darshan. And the words are free. And this is Guardians of the Future. Guardian Spirit, you who live here and on worlds beyond the stars. Philosopher and mystic, you speak through the silences between of knowledge, compassion, Tonglen and Darshan, wisdom and understanding, science and magic, and the timeless nature of consciousness and being. You reveal in catabasis the past and speak in anabasis future, in resonance and ubiquitous Tao, the vagaries of time in the spectrum of days. And we, poets, artists, and musicians, guardians of the future, here Listen in Hineni, understand, and create as eternal messengers on the pathways of forever. Thank you.
Oh, okay. I don't know why I thought you said 3 or 4. That threw me off.
I did 3.
Okay, you did. Okay, appreciate that. Doc,
Yes.
all right. And any announcements, any promo? How can people find you online?
I'm just on Facebook as I've been, and that's where you can find me. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Doc. Take a look. It's in a Facebook. All right. Look up Doc Janning if you want to connect. All right. Next up, we're going to keep traveling around and we're going to go to Greenfield, Massachusetts. We got some poetry / acapella song. Is something brewing? I think it's Storm. Next up on the mic is Storm. When you're ready, take it away.
Okay, here we go. So, the 9th and 10th of November were Crystal Knock, and I did a little bit about that the last one, but I found an interesting piece of song that I want to do, so we're going to do a little bit more around similar theme this time. Okay, taking stock. I just trust wealth said, oh, and I'll put into the chat, and hopefully Richie can send out to YouTube information about Crystal Knock if people don't know about it. It was a 24-hour roughly period of time in which 100 Jews were killed, 7,500 Jewish businesses were damaged, and hundreds of synagogues and homes and schools and graveyards were vandalized. In 1938, and an estimated 30,000 Jewish men were arrested, many of whom were sent to concentration camps for several months, then released when they promised to leave Germany. And although that was 1938, we've got a lot of those same vibes happening in this country these days. So that's another reason to not forget about it. Taking stock. I distrust wealth, said the merchant. The owner of too sleek a house can only fall, as perhaps he should. I make money like a gambler. 1 week I'm cornering ashtrays. The next I barely sell a watermelon. For distraction, I'm an astronomer, recording the quarters of the moon, counting fading stars like dollars. I suppose I could sandwich in being rich, floating around on a yacht with a melancholy advisor, ordering the servants to polish the curtains and drinking orangeade out of Tiffany glasses. Yet I'd rather sabotage all expectations, retreat to oblivion in a lemon Volkswagen, and let somebody else sing Cadillac and Caviar Blues. Prism. Catch the fire of my eyes and send it spinning rainbow-like around the room as if such were the world. And you could send rainbows to Ireland and Soweto, to Afghanistan and Pakistan, to Nicaragua and Cuba, to Washington, D.C. and Chicago, to Gaza and Israel, to Ukraine and Venezuela, rainbows whose pots are filled with missing people alive and doing well, rainbows that say no more floods from constant tears, rainbows to say no more floods from constant tears. Catch the fire of my eyes and send it spinning rainbow-like around the room, as if such were the world. and he could send rainbows into the most secretive of prisons, as if such could lighten even the darkest of hearts. Okay. Let's see if this will come up. I had it all marked out. There we go. Oh, come on. Sorry, I tried to expand it and it shrunk. There we go. I worked with Katya. This is my cover piece. This is a song by Bob Franke, who died recently. Very well known and respected folk singer. And I knew him a little when I was younger. I worked with Katya at the factory. She always did her job okay, as far as I could see. Lunchtime one day, she got nostalgic for her youth, growing up in wartime under a different truth. She told me when I was a girl, I loved a soldier in the SS. They only picked the strongest ones, the healthiest, the best. They weren't monsters. They were like your Green Berets. We never sought to kill Jews. We just desired them away. And you know, we gave them lots of time until Kristallnacht sealed their fate. We only sought for them to immigrate. We'll give each Californian a plastic picture card. If you don't have your papers, kid, well, life is hard. The Pavlovs have arrived here in America at last. You used to get a meal in school, but that's the past. Just take your chances in the street, but do it out of sight. We know you'll get along until your crystal night. Your teacher has to turn you in. She doesn't really hate. We only seek for you to emigrate. Kristallnacht is coming, little Mexican kid, child. The night of breaking glass, the night of running wild. Run sick and in the street until Kristallnacht seals your fate. We only seek for you to immigrate. Until we send the troopers in, we'll give you lots of time to get your life in order and forsake your little crimes. You're better off in Mexico, although you grew up here. And if your folks won't take you back, there's this to fear. Alone and in an alley, your breaking glass will come. It won't be in the papers if we do it one by one. It's all about the bottom line. It isn't really hate. We only seek for you to emigrate. Kristallnacht is coming, Salvadorian child. The night of breaking glass, the night of running wild. Run sick and in the street until Kristallnacht seals your fate. We only seek for you to emigrate. Kristallnacht is coming, Guatemalan child. The night of breaking glass, the night of running wild. Run sick and in the street until Kristallnacht seals your fate. We only seek for you to emigrate. Every day I'll work a little to make this world a better place to be. Every day I'll work a little to make this world a place where all are free. To make this world a place where all are free. That's from my song, Not Only Bars. That's my song and my pledge.
Awesome. Thank you, Storm. And as always, feel free to share those links so people can follow your projects.
Yeah, Daily Antidote of Song, been going 2,050 days now. And every day 12 noon Eastern. Somebody comes on from somewhere in the world, performs a song or two, and gets interviewed. Wonderful community is built up by people who have listened for the majority of those days, and newcomers as well. And People's Music Network for Songs of Freedom and Struggle, 45-year-old organization, over 350 members, do things online and a few times in the physical. We have an event in the physical coming up in New York City in January. We are a dues organization, but it's a sliding scale, and if it's really a challenge, you can talk to someone and get things adjusted. peoplesmusic.org.
All right. Thank you, Storm. Event in the physical. I like the way that sounds. Go check that out. We'll have the websites here in just a moment. Welcome Cassie to the chat. I saw Julie Matthews joined as well. Again, this is our online mic. We're going to keep this thing moving along, and we're going to come back to El Paso for our next performer. We got Robin Schofield. It's always a treat, Robin, when you're ready. Hello, happy Monday, and take it away.
Hello, Richie. Hello, everybody. Happy Monday. And to you in the future, happy whatever day it is. Remember, as I tell my cat Myra, happiness is a choice you make daily. See, I'm paying attention. Anyway, I'm going to read some old poems from my latest book, Ridge of High Pressure. Isn't that a cool cover? Yeah. So, these are kind of, well, they're not really. This one's not really ekphrastic, but it's about an artist. All the time in the world. There was no clock in the studio with northern light at the big house in Wichita Falls. Aunt Mary's face and fingers smudged with oil paint. She didn't keep track of the time it took her to paint portraits of the ones she loved, except for her squirming son, who wouldn't sit still for the time she needed. She came back inside time for him and his sister and the husband she adored. I live without alarm clocks. Time stretches when I write. At least I can tell night from day. Aunt Mary sometimes could not. How she painted that mesquite tree in the wind, branches thrashing, time and time again. Okay, so that was for my Aunt Mary, who was kind of a famous artist and had a mural in the famous Shamrock Hotel in Houston, which was torn down in the 60s, late 60s, early 70s. And the mural with it, of course. And these are for Hal Marcus. When in Tumblewords one time we got to visit Hal Marcus's house and his studio, his gallery, everything. So El Paso artist Hal Marcus starts with the frame. A great black frame requires this black Madonna who tilts her head at extreme angles, something odd about her eyeballs. What enthralls me? I cannot say. The stars on her azure cape, the triangle above her head, golden, pinks and blues and maybes, just a thought behind the veil. Finished and signed this morning with a handful of glitter, a palette of color to be tasted like berry marmalade. Her glory of fruit plucked out of the cosmos of nuns and angels. Her light in jeweled paint, Hal plucked out of the cosmos just now and started with the frame. Then this white frame for the blue ink, her head at an extreme angle as she eyes me full of grammar and the glamour of pomegranate trees, while the ground too is jeweled here, and the yellow jacket as well, mad jewel plucked out of the cosmos. So that one was ekphrastic in that it was about a painting. And this one's called Morning Mosaic. And it's more about just being in Hal's garden and all the lovely stuff and what I could see from there. White birds against North Mountain bounce out of the wetlands. Coyote crosses the trail in sunlight out of his midnight den. A waning gibbous moon lights up creosote and leafless lacy mesquite. Desert marigold long since dormant. Every staircase a marvel. One saint has a pet iguana. San Miguel defeats ignorance by his sword. The hermit carries his own light. Above the lilies, Frida Kahlo's face engraved in tin. All right, so those are my 3 poems from my book, Ridge of High Pressure. And now I'd like to do a little bit longish cover poem. It's a page and a half, and it's by Liesl Müller, or Miller, really, in German. And it's about the painter Claude Monet. And it's called Monet Refuses the Operation. Doctor, you say there are no halos around the streetlights in Paris, and what I see is an aberration caused by old age and affliction. I tell you, it has taken me all my life to arrive at the vision of gas lamps as angels, to soften and blur and finally banish the edges you regret I don't see, to learn that the line I called the horizon does not exist, and sky and water, so long apart, are the same state of being. 54 years before I could see, Rouen Cathedral is built of parallel shafts of sun. And now you want to restore my youthful errors, fixed notions of top and bottom, the illusion of three-dimensional space, wisteria separate from the bridge it covers. What can I say to convince you? The Houses of Parliament dissolve night after night to become the fluid dream of the Thames. I will not return to a universe of objects that don't know each other, as if islands were not the lost children of one great continent. The world is flux, and light becomes what it touches, becomes water, lilies on water, above and below water, becomes lilac and mauve and yellow and white and cerulean lamps, small fists passing sunlight so quickly to one another that it would take long streaming hair inside my brush to catch it. To paint the speed of light, our weighted shapes, these verticals burn to mix with air and change our bones, skin, clothes to gases. Doctor, if you could only see how heaven pulls earth into its arms, and how infinitely the heart expands to claim this world, blue vapor without end. Yeah, that was Lisa Muller, and most of my poems are written in tumble words. So do visit Tumble Words sometimes on Saturdays at 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. Mountain Time, because it's a great writing experience. Thanks, everybody. Back to you, Richie.
All right, absolutely, and great plug for Tumblewords. Again, if you guys are looking to get a little bit more writing done and maybe need that push, maybe getting a little writer's block, surround yourself with the community of writers and see what they have going on. But we're going to keep this thing going. And again, if you guys are tuning in live, feel free to say hello in the chat. I just saw that John is here. John, our awesome local entomologist that provides fun poems around the writers night at Proof and Press, and we have a real treat up next because we have one of our newest BWOMS hosts Next up on the mic, she's been holding it down on Tuesdays at Mona, Rosewood, Brunette Lounge, and has been a hell of a help just in general with BWOMS. And we have a lot more stuff on the way planned, but spoilers. All right. But right now we got Dorimar up next on the mic. Welcome, welcome. We're happy to have you here.
Hello, everyone. I am so excited I get to be here. I will be hosting tomorrow night if you want to come check it out. I may or may not be sitting on the floor because sometimes we do that. That's an inside joke because we sat on the floor last time. But anyway, um, I have been dealing with my previous partner, now having a new partner. And so I'm going to read a sequence of poems from a poem when I first met this person that I loved, all the way like through processing and grieving like the loss of that person. So this first one is Shadows, and this is like an early love poem. All of the work I did in the shadows, where no one looks and no one goes, and suddenly mine stands next to yours, under autumn leaves and over sounds of fairy splashes, a picture and a dream playing on the same screen. It almost makes me want to scream, knowing you'll listen to my loudest or quietest sounds. I don't have to imagine what you'd look like. I've seen you and I want to see more. Turn the pages and explore, adventure and adventure some more. Inside bookstores tucked in little towns, toppling up and down, blooping and blopping along the way. Nooks and crannies, fitting loafers on stampered trails, reaching for your arm in the darkness, followed by you reaching for mine on the drive home. Shadows. This next one is Phantom Limb. Sometimes love can feel like losing a limb. Last night you held my hand a million miles away. Your absence obliterating my being, I can still feel it as I run away. Invisible limbs holding on to me. I wanted to be free and it killed the parts of me that were you. I wish it wasn't true that there was no me after you. I don't know why I did it. In my mind, I can't get rid of it. I was slipping away, wanting to feel alive. To you, love is ownership. With every step I took, I drowned in the version of me you wanted. An all too familiar rejected, wanting to be wanted not as I am, shrinking to fit your preferred script. The love you've seen and think to understand. I didn't kill you, but I feel the severance. Forever my phantom limb. And then I miss you. I miss you. Sometimes I deeply miss you. I yearn for your presence. You were my best friend. Sad to say it in the past tense. I get so close to reaching for the phone, and then I remember how I went through it all alone. You could have flown to me. Maybe then you would have seen it or felt it. I remember all the people you spoke to that were not me. It was easier if I was crazy and I hurt you on purpose. I needed help and I was hurting myself. Reality slipped away. I didn't know the time which thoughts were me or mine. So afterwards, I sought out orgasms to feel the lack of life it took to be your future wife. I remember the ways you tried to control and hurt me on purpose, how I loved our baby pup like only a mother could, how you twisted my words and decided never to speak to me again. It's easier for me to miss you than to remember how much you didn't love me. And this is the final one called Living Grief. What is grief? To grieve the living, to wander carrying a loss you don't understand. It's unbelievable, inconceivable to live in a world where your existence is separate. It's also a bubbling rage bewildered by a sudden betrayal. It's being weighed down in the present by thoughts of the past and a loss of hopes for the future. It's trying to still hold on when you're clearly not wanted, but you still look for solutions. It's holding the broken pieces, seeing how much hurt they can cause, choosing to keep them as reminders, but not wear them as blinders. Love stays when friends become strangers. You can hold on to what you're given, but if that's nothing, then you must move on and grieve the living. Hold on to the love. Holding on to the love, you keep on living. And that is all I have. See you all tomorrow. If you'll come out to Rosewood, I believe, for open mic.
Yes. Also, really quick, there's a lot of people seeing you for the first time. Do you want to share like your Instagram so people can follow you and connect and see more of your artistic journey?
Sure, yeah. I'm on Instagram at finding Finding, and then my name, Dorimar, Finding Dorimar on Instagram. And I'll be having a show soon. I also do make paintings. I don't know. Here's a random one that's close by. Very intense colors and yeah, that's all.
All right, cool. Well, welcome to our online space. It's a pleasure to have you. Speaking of your paintings, bam, get that. First day we met, I got one of these. Wait, it goes this way because it's a music note.
Oh, I haven't seen that one in the light because it was very dark and it looks cool.
All right, that'll be part of your show too. Okay, all right. We're gonna keep this thing moving along. Once again, welcome to our online mic. We are gonna stick around in El Paso, and next up we have MV Lee. It is Lee Martinez Soto. Hey Lee, welcome back. Take it away.
Hello. I also got a painting from Dorimar. I'm excited. And I'm reading the poem that goes with that painting. This is called Casa. En mi familia no tenemos fantasmas. Sobre el tiempo lentamente erosionando los espectros de las historias de trauma y resiliencia. En mi familia, it's the home which holds the ghosts, the hauntings and the walls and foundations of our bloodline. My house sits on the corner of La Cuadra, el lote más grande de la zona. En algún punto carecía de rejas, its growth stopped only by the sidewalk almost untamed como el zacate creciendo hasta las rodillas. I have only big memories of what it was before we transformed it, and it transformed me. The limitless yard, grass, and wildflowers growing around it, swings in the backyard, and a short concrete wall from which the neighbor's kid would sneak in to play with me. Within a small living room donde mi papá solía jugar y cantar conmigo, una cocina chiquita con su comedor aún más pequeño pushed against the wall, where he would make us pancakes and mom would cook us dinner. 2 stories, 2 cuartos, un baño. Dice mi mamá que antes de vivir aquí, vivimos en la casa de una bruja. Ella, mi papá y yo con apenas un año de nacido. Leaking roofs and a space so minuscule, she could feel the walls encroaching upon her. I wonder if she also saw its eyes and sharp teeth hidden in the floorboards or the cracks on the wall. I have no recollection of the place, but I could see just how much she hated it. Confined, restricting, walls invading flesh, a coffin waiting to close its lid on her. I could see it in the way she changed the dimensions of the house that would become her home, vast and ever growing despite its limitations. Primero, rejas rodeando el lote to keep unsteady legs from darting off into oncoming traffic, a growth spur of flesh and bones. Después, bloques y cemento uno tras otro y vidrios rotos, caleidoscopios teñidos de rojo to deter the outside from trespassing, cartílago to encase. The walls grew taller until they blocked sky and sunlight, and it traded jagged glass for barbed wire. Stunted by its enclosure, the house expanded instead from within. New rooms, new floors, new pipes and hallways, y le crecieron ojos. At what point does a house become a monster? Quizás cuando mi madre se convierte en bruja. I used to be terrified at nights, tossing and turning until I'd run from my room to the safety of my parents, crying and crawling in between both so I could find some comfort. No sé qué tenía la noche, pero no dormí solo sino hasta muy entrado mis 7 años. Quizás presenté allá los múltiples ojos buscando presas en la oscuridad. Entrando la adolescencia, as my mother's rage increased, a la casa le crecieron colmillos y garras. Y yo cambié mis miedos de la infancia por los del mundo real. The house, it learned to beckon, entrapped. My mom, she learned to deride, abuse, lash out. I stopped seeking refuge in my parents' room, instead finding reasons to escape. Andar de callejero hasta muy entrada la noche, todo con tal de no terminar en sus entrañas. I would have gnawed my own arms off, would have left a piece behind as shoe toy, para que no intentara quitarme algo más. I outgrew it long ago, escaped it before it could take more. It now sits silent on the corner, la casa más grande de la cuadra. It now lays dormant or pretends to be, with its jaws wide open, hoping to trap me back inside. Perhaps, con los años, its jagged glass and sharpened barbed wire became dull and it could no longer feed. Quizás sin la ira de mi madre, mi miedo irracional, it could no longer live. muerta de hambre y por siempre en silencio, una casa más entre las múltiples de la cuadra, sin piel, ni huesos, ni garras, ni dientes, ni ojos y rostro. All right, that was the very first one. By the way, if you're in El Paso, that one was workshopped twice in the writer's night, and I highly recommend it if you're in El Paso and just need like a little writing, get some feedback on your writing. This next one is new. I wrote it on Candace, who heads the writer's night, Tumbleworks. I think it's been 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken. And this one is called La Cuota. Just so you know, it does have a lot of violence. It's the experiences of some family members as they fled from Mexico. And again, it's called La Cuota. They followed him home through the serpentine streets, feet on metal, hands on metal, and him unaware of their stalking. They followed him home through dimly lit alleys, then pitch darkness, until the sight of home warm light across the chasm. When the gates opened and he stepped outside, they pushed him inside, hands on heavy metal pressed against flesh, hairs on his neck, hairs on his head, raised. They waited inside too, metal against tender temples, growling, barking, drooling at the sight of tears, stench of fear. They waited inside once the beast had gone home, in silence until the roaring of their fury left, then embracing and checking for pulse. They drove through the night, through tears and jumbled thoughts, reached La Frontera hoping for safety and peace. They took him first, rolling, barking, drooling at the sight of brown skin and stench of fear, separated, cuffed, and jailed for the crime of seeking refuge. Then they came for his wife. Then they came for his children. And I watched from the window, con miedo y sin idea de qué podía hacer, as they took my handcuffed uncle away, and my 3 little cousins and aunt helplessly cried after him. So this happened back during the war on narco in 2010. And this is heartening to know that it still happens to this day, 2025, 15 years later. This very last one is a cover poem. I don't have a hat, but I have been rereading some of the poetry books that I have. This one is by Desiree Giacomo. It's called Think. And this poem is called I Forgive You. My mother will tell you that I was a quiet child. I will tell you I was born screaming and everyone looked away. I once went 119 on the highway and no one stopped me. I once dug my name into my tie and no one bothered to pronounce it. I once called my body sand, line drawn with a razor, no one crossed it. That kind of invisible can make a girl disappear into any mouth. I have spent years dreaming of a girlhood with my lips not stitched into a seam. Imagine if my mother could say she loved me without looking away. If my father knew my phone number, if there was never a boy burying my face in the hardwood, I would be anchored to resentment if I did not let time take hold of memory. Witness me. Look at the girl I was. Look at the me I am. Hear me say, I forgive you, mother, for all the years you could not see me, searching for a quieter life, no children to hold to your breast. I forgive you, father, even though you are a language I do not speak. I forgive you, boy who found me weeks after the ambulance did. I forgive you, love who did not love me back. I forgive you, my love, for each night you trash inside the darkness of your head, drag yourself across the rocks of memory. I forgive you, self, for all the years I could not love you. That is the most resounding work song, to say, I forgive you. I forgive you, and when I do not, I forgive myself for that too. When I wake with a past wrapped around my throat, I forgive myself for that too. Take my filthy name, let me call myself Bird. Let me call myself 100 days of laughter. Call myself ice cream on the porch despite the hot day. Call myself the sweet insides of a strawberry. Let me call myself girl. Let me name myself for all the woman I could have been. Tighten my eyes, lay my body warm, flat in the dirt. I plant my baby teeth like seeds and upgrows a girl who can lie in the sun where no man will touch her. Each hole I dig, I whisper, I am alive still, and isn't that more than I was supposed to be? Each hole I dig, I whisper, I forgive you, I forgive you, I forgive you, I forgive you. All right, that's it for me.
All right, and as always, Lee, that was everything. Thank you so much. And if you want to share your link tree at all in the chat, we can just do that. Yeah. Or do you want to announce it?
Yeah, I don't remember what it says, like Linktree with the weird dots in between slash whatever it is. But I'll share the link, and you can follow me on Facebook as Lee Martinez Soto, on Instagram as cadáveres_literarios.
All right. All right. Thank you so much, Lee. And as always, yeah, a pleasure having you here with us. And we're going to go ahead and bring up the birthday twin because there was a point where we couldn't, it just happened. You would be back to back. All right. And it's, of course, it's Mr. Monday Night, who can also talk a little bit about the poetry potluck after. But right now, do your thing, man. It's Kit Ren.
What's up? What's up? Yeah, gonna do two of mine and two covers because that one of memorial. But yeah, well, since it came up in the green room in a joking way, there's a crowd pleaser I have to read. In my dream, Rihanna was upset with me. We were at the same high-end social gathering. They had champagne, they had caviar, they had those little sandwiches that are rolled up like pinwheels. And I was about to unroll one and eat it like a ham and romaine fruit by the foot when Rihanna made a scene and told me to get out. And I did, because it came to me within the dream as a memory. She was right. I had, after all, called off our engagement and not explained my reasoning. I thought I was holding her back. I thought she needed to be free. As I mentioned, I had not said any of this to her. She was left with the impression I was just a flake. Another self-important jackass. She was through with poets. I was not in a position to argue. I know how it looked. How I looked. With 2 feet of ham dangling from my mouth like an aardvark's tongue. The bar is playing Rihanna, and the bartenders were children when SOS came out, and I am full of regret over things that technically never happened. Choices I wasn't presented, not even within the convoluted timeline of the dream. I'm sorry, Dream Rihanna. I was trying to do the right thing. This guy's crazy. He needs to get it together. What's his deal? In 1867, when Candy Cummings at the Brooklyn Excelsiors threw the first curveball, there was such a moral panic in the baseball watchers of New England that would make Cotton and Increase Mather preach caution instead of hellfire. This unruly man had introduced trickery into the pastoral poem of the nation's young pastime. People driven by passion would barnstorm just behind the Brooklyn Nine, determined to heckle Candy Cummings out of the game and into infamy. 1 or 2 carrying a hatchet in imitation of Carrie Nation and her much different crusade for moral purity. But they had paid a ticket for their right to heckle. And their burning hatred for the unsporting trickery of Candy Cummings filled seats and coffers that would otherwise be vacant. And though he later donned the Hartford Dark Blues and the Cincinnati Reds, the curveball was too effective a tactic to ever become a question of chivalry. This is how the future happens. Without your consent. You may rage and throw your shoe at the first songbird, telling the world how great it is to be a songbird at 4:30 in the morning. But you missed. And now you're up and barefoot, and your heart is pressing against your chest like it's looking for the door. You might as well stay up. The sun may as well join you. You can't stop the world from throwing curveballs. You can only hit it right back up the 5-hole until it has to try something else. So like I said, 2 covers. Book awards this Wednesday. You can stream them. You can watch them. You can dress up in a tuxedo in your bedroom and pretend that you're important. What are you doing Wednesday, kid? Nothing. Mind your business. Stay out of it. But one of the nominees, there are two poets I really love who are up for the Poetry Award. I've been reading a lot of Richard Sykens, so I'm going to read the other one that I really love. This is Stacking Cistern My Bones on Top of Your Bones on Top of Your Bones by Gabrielle Calvacarest. Not an optimist. I lie awake at night and say the name of everyone on the block and for 3 blocks over, and then the names of the people I don't know. I call them by their house number, by their street address. I wish they not be sick. I wish they not get shot. I wish. It calms me. But also, is it selfish? Do I do it to keep myself alive? I have a theory that if I let the light out into the world, then we'll all get to stay alive. Want to stay alive. I think of everything I know about all the people on my block. I list Miss Edna and her children. I say the names of everyone at the church, and then the people I don't know. I want everyone to have money. I want everyone to have a house and food and be believed in and told they're believed in. I want to know that these things can happen, so I don't want to die. Or so I can feel the hollow part of me filling with all of us getting to be filled up. There's no part of me that's a saint. I'm not saying this to get some extra credit. I'm saying, I wonder if you do it too. My bones on top of your bones, on top of your bones, or your bones on top of mine. All of us awake at 3 a.m., wishing the best for people, like filling up an endless cistern with light and understanding, all the way down to the center of the earth and up to where the solitary planes fly past. And other thing I want to read, gonna pull a similar and read some song lyrics. Just read them. You don't want me to sing. That's subscribers only. But very unexpectedly, the singer-songwriter Todd Snyder died over the weekend of walking pneumonia. It's a very funny, very offbeat. He writes country that the people that make decisions want nothing to do. He's one of those types of country singers. So this is, I'm going to read Can't Complain by Todd Snyder. A little out of place, a little out of tune. Sort of lost in space, racing that moon. Climbing the walls of a hurricane. Still, overall, I can't complain. All I wanted was one chance to let freedom ring. They said I had to get a permit, tags and everything. I never made it through the red tape. I got this paper hat. I got a job working weekdays. You want fries with that? I got nothing to lose, nothing to gain. It's like a one-way ticket to cruise in the passing lane. I can't complain. I was talking with my girlfriend. I told her I was stressed. I said, I'm going off the deep end. She said, man, give it a rest. We're all waiting in the dugout, thinking we should pitch. How you gonna throw a shutout if all you do is bitch? I got nothing to lose. I got nothing to gain. It's like a one-way ticket to cruise in the passing lane. I can't complain. Now I've got a brand new dance. I need one more shot. Just need one last chance. You know I won't get caught. I want to make my last stand. This time I can't be bought. Then again, on the other hand, how much have you got? Got nothing to lose, nothing to gain. It's like a one-way ticket to cruise in the passing lane. I can't complain. All right. Thank you for indulging me in that. And I hope you'll indulge me in our little tradition next week, the poetry potluck, where we all bring something to the table and we all grab off each other's plates. We all read each other's work in the way that I just covered some of my favorites. We're all each other's favorites. We're all buddies. We're all pals. So, just reach out to your fellow regulars, reach out to friends who haven't heard of this show. The Jeff Taylor, RIP, did a great job last year with some friends of his. Yes, and so it'll be a great little. That's what we hope for with the poetry potluck. So hope to see you there. Tumblewords this Saturday will be What Dreams Are Made Of with Maria Perez. Maria's very enthusiastic and a great believer in how we do things at Tumblewords. She's already claimed 2 dates in January too. Like, she really likes hosting, and I really like having someone who likes hosting. It works out. We won't have one on the 29th. Go eat turkey then. Come on. Yeah. And yes, and this Thursday, because we can't do it next Thursday, we'll be doing the old sheepdog reading. Their first live venue when things started opening back up in 2021. Gus has built a really great community around that building, and we're happy to be a big part of that. Okay, I think that's everything. We'll hand it back to Richie.
All right, thank you, Kit. Yeah, we're always racing each other to that button. It's cool. Yeah, leftover turkey, 29th. All right, we have we got some international peeps in the room, and our first one, we're gonna actually go to Malaysia, where we have Julian Matthews next up on the spot. So Julian, we will spotlight you when you're ready. Welcome back.
Hi. This is about Voyager 1 and Voyager 2. They were launched 48 years ago, and they're still communicating with Earth. Launched in 1977, Voyager 1 and Voyager 2 are currently 25 billion kilometers and 21 billion kilometers respectively from Earth, the furthest any man-made objects have ever been. So this is kind of Voyager 2 writing a poem to Voyager 1. I hurtle towards you in a chase of the chased. Nothing has come between us for 48 years. We may be 2 needles in the haystack of the universe, but we are not lost. Space-time is just a figment of fictional fabric, a creative cloak conjured up by human imagination. It's a material construct of intertwined threads that none can fathom, yet humans still want to believe. The sages told us time is an illusion, and space merely a projection of consciousness. They were right. Nothing is what it seems within all this nothingness. I should know I've been out here long enough. The only exception is your existence, and the knowing that you are still out there too. We are uncoupled pilgrims on odysseys well beyond the firmament, and we're never going home. I've been pursuing you for decades, but at the speed of 15 kilometers a second, and you at 17 kilometers a second, the math adds up. I will never catch up, not in this lifetime. Or so it would seem. They made you bypass me in the flurry of the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. Never to look back, I spied your form of white and gold, silver and gray, flying past like a mighty metallic shadow. In your wake, I fervently followed. We are further away now than any man-made thing has ever been. A cosmic dance across an extended, endless, bedazzling ballroom, 2 performers pirouetting across a twinkling stage. Within our bowels, we hold hope, greetings in 55 languages, music from Bach, Beethoven, and Blind Willie Johnson. Sounds of a Chinese zither, an Indian raga, a Peruvian panpipe, a Navajo chant, Javanese gamelan, the Balinese kachak. The mission has been long, too long. I self-soothe to the music in my mind, as if in a trance I chant, sing, spin, and vibe. I'm the conductor of my own orchestra, the featured soloist, even the lone audience. I finesse the finite within the infinite. Can you not hear me? Or are your headphones on? Beatboxing in your head, pounding at full volume, just shout out the engulfing silence. Do you not relish the solitude like me? The never knowing of arriving, the comfort of being ever present in the absence of codependence? How lucky of us to be the only souls to have crossed paths so randomly onto this superhighway of superhighways, taunting angry asteroids, cursing comets, and dodging every malevolent meteor shower. We are the kids, new kids on the block, mapless visitors in a new rowdy city of ruddy road rages, and ever grateful for the near misses. Thankfully, we remain unscathed, unblemished, undefiled, or at least I hope you are too. Soon the pale blue dot will fade to gray. Signals will be lost as our energies recede. We will wind down and all human monitoring will cease. We will finally be on our own, just two spacecrafts passing in the void, our longing for each other boundless. We hold the high ground. In this airless sky, your scent will leave a trail. You will purposely decelerate and drift into my path for what is 4 billion kilometers between BFFs. I shall reach you, and our twains shall meet. Humans sent us out as messengers. They are emissaries, hoping to make contact, not knowing of our plan, the hidden agenda. When the mission's over, we're just dying to jettison our clunky cargo, lie back, and give each other a well-deserved massage. Aliens, schmalians, just another geeky wet dream. Indeed, the truth was always out here, in space. No one can hear you scheme. Thank you.
Awesome, Julian. Thank you as always. I love getting to read along with you in that way. Lots of compliments in the chat there for you. Hashtag not poetry. Julian Matthews. I'll share the link tree for everyone right now who's tuning in as well, who may not have had the privilege to see it yet. Again, thanks for joining us all the way from Malaysia, and we're gonna go ahead and do a little bit of ping ponging, international ping pong, if you will. And we have another returning face, someone that's another dope poet. Like, this is a sick lineup. I know he runs an open mic as well in Virginia. And we got Wall Poet up next on the mic. Good to see you, man. And when you are ready, I will get you in the spotlight here. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
How you doing? It's good to be back. I know it's been a minute. All right, so I got some pieces. I have definitely like a newer one kind of new one, but I want to start off with the cover. Also got an old piece too. So this one's by my friend and mentor named Kiki Aviles. I've done his stuff before, but I haven't done this one. So just get back into it. It's called My Tongue is Divided into Two by Kiki Aviles. So cover poem. My tongue is divided into two by virtue, coincidence, or heaven, words jumping out of my mouth, stepping on each other, enjoying being a voice for the message, expecting conclusions. My tongue is divided into two, into heavy accent, bits of confusion, into miracles and accidents, saying things that hurt the heart, drowning in a language that lives, jumps, translates. My tongue is divided by nature, by a crazy desire to triumph and conquer, This tongue is cut up into equal pieces. One wants to curse and sing out loud. The other one simply wants to ask for water. My tongue is divided into two. One side likes to party. The other one takes refuge in praying. Tongue, English of the funny sounds. Tongue, funny sounds in English. Tongue, sounds funny in English. Tongue, in funny English sounds. My tongue sometimes acts like two and it goes crazy, not knowing which side should be speaking, which side translating. My tongue is divided into two. A border patrol runs through the middle, frisking words, asking for proper identification, checking for pronunciation. My tongue is divided into two. My tongue is divided into two. I like my tongue. It says what feels right. I like my tongue. It says what feels right. And that's Kike Avalos, and he's actually going to be featuring in December at the open mic I run at Grace Episcopal Church at Georgetown. If anybody's in the area, I've run a monthly open mic. All right. All right, I got another one. This one's mine. It's called Not Your Typical Poet. I am not your typical poet. I don't speak only in rhyme, and bongos don't magically appear when I have something important to say. I am not your typical poet. Poems don't just come to me after viewing the constellations, nor do I have the urge to live amongst the trees. I am not your typical poet. I don't have an MFA, but I do have enough poetic vision to fill up a Thanksgiving Day parade float. I am not your typical poet because typical poets find my writing to be shallow, selfishly focusing on myself when I should be writing about nature and the spiritual being. See, my poems are mostly grounded in reality, except when words like ladybugs crawl up my arm and rest on my shoulder, waiting for the perfect time to cannonball jump on the page, or interrupt me when I'm eating empanadas de queso at 8 a.m. on a Saturday. And sometimes these words don't let me sleep, prying my eyes open in the middle of the night and forcing me to create art that only other atypical people will appreciate. And maybe that's who I choose to write for, create for, bare my soul for. People who have had doors slammed in their face time after time, but refuse to stop trying, believing, and dreaming. People who don't know how to be anything else but themselves because at the end of the day, maybe we shouldn't want to be typical. And just maybe we should just want to be original instead. All right, so that's an older poem. And then I have one that I did during the like the April where everybody was writing a poem a day, and that was fun. But I was super. So this is one of those, and I keep like editing it, so we'll see if I ever get to a final version. This is called Guitar Player's Blues, and then I got one more after that. It's like storytelling piece. I first started playing, so Guitar Player's Blues. I first started playing back in middle school, back when jet black hair covered my eyes whenever I wanted to, whenever I wanted it to. At the same time that oversized jeans swallowed my skateboard shoes. My eclectic musical taste consistently confused classmates because they were a cross between Nirvana, El Gran Combo, and Snoop Dogg. Back when you were only allowed to listen to one type of music to belong, or maybe that's just what I chose to believe. I mean, I was only 13 and went against the grain by taking guitar class in the chorus room where everybody was white except for me and a Filipino dude. Remembering the first song I learned how to play about a girl written by Kurt Cobain, the way fingers unnaturally blent like clothes hangers, but they still chose to ignore pain. Hearing the words echo in my head, I take advantage while you hang me out to dry, but I can't see you every night free. And the way ears bled until it sounded like a recognizable tune, leading my father to give me a midnight colored acoustic electric that gleamed like volcanic glass found in Colorado, the color similar to the one Antonio Banderas plays in the movie Desperado. I adored it and lugged it around in a black case like I was El Mariachi, except it didn't secretly store weapons, and I wasn't seeking revenge for the death of the woman I loved. But I ended up selling it to a friend after my first identity crisis, where my appearance started changing as I started musing that being Latin requiring somehow required making sure my Adidas shirt matched my shoes, sweats, and socks, and thought the only two movies I was allowed to watch was Selena and Blood In, Blood Out, Bound by Honor, confused as to who I was supposed to be, all while thinking guitar players had to be blonde hair, blue-eyed, and sport a red bandana, somehow completely forgetting about Jimi Hendrix and Carlos Santana. Man, was I wrong? As I spent my teenage years wondering who I was and wanted to be, and who I wanted to be was under construction, and it kind of still is. While I morphed from artist to husband to educator to parent and back to artist, stacking identities like bowling pins, hoping to score a strike. Years ago, I bought a guitar again, one with scuff marks and mismatched strings, looking like it got its ass beat down by a ukulele, and desperately needing some love, care, and attention, which I was able to give while me and the guitar became one, my fingers climbing up and down the frets of its neck like ladders, tracing the curvatures of the body with my fingertips, whispering sweet nothings in its ear. As I spent hours trying to master the rock songs I wanted to learn when I was younger but never got the chance, all because I didn't think I was supposed to, when in reality, limits will always hold you back from who you're supposed to be. And sometimes I even seriously even think of getting rid of it because of the much better one I now play. But instead, I keep it as it gathers dust in the basement, patiently waiting to meet another confused kid to finally give it to. So probably needs a couple more edits, but it's kind of getting there. All right, I got one last one. Slam piece. These ones are always like fun for me, exciting. So I wrote this like 3 weeks ago, but I like it. It's called "If I Was a Poem." If I was a poem, then what kind of poem would I be? Would I be wild and free like feverish poetry? No rules while conversing with you poetically? If someone died, would I transform into an elegy? Would bringing words to life be acting omnipotently? Would my fingertips be made up of metaphors and similes? And would my words bounce off the page rhythmically? Would they use syllabication to break free from banality, unlike other poems whose words start to taste syrupy, meaning lacking authenticity? Because I want to know. If I was a poem, would you need cliff notes to understand me? Or would you find me approachable? Because honestly, I want to be accessible. If I was a poem, then what kind of poem would I be? What if I was written with a sense of urgency, addressing the current state of the world that seems to be doused in kerosene? Would free verse be enough, or would an epic poem addressing how to fight back against repressive forces be a necessity? If I was a poem, then what kind of poem would I be? In a world full of harsh reality, can I show optimism if I promise not to overuse sentimentality? Would the rules of a silence stifle creativity, or written like Shakespeare, would it be considered revolutionary? If I was a poem, then what kind of poem would I be? Would I be smuggled in the middle of a speech for dramatic effect, or would I be a poem I'm not good at, like a haiku or limerick? Because I think I'd be a poem that showed vulnerability but still blew your mind when I put together words like a craftsman but plan like an architect. If for my next trick I show people who work until their feet ache and hands bleed, all for a better opportunity, I call them family while others just call them immigrants. And I'd be the poem that teaches world geography, like showing where to find Bolivia on a map, how it snugly fits like a puzzle piece in the middle of South America, landlocked, but the way you can grab a handful of clouds in the subtropical paradise 1 minute and lose yourself staring at a mountainside backdrop the next more than makes up for it. And I'd be a poem that makes you laugh 1 minute and makes you self-reflect the next. And I'd be a poem that keeps you from glancing at your cell phone for a full 2 minutes and 20 seconds, which in the age of lack of attention and self-control is considered to be pretty goddamn impressive. And I'd be a poem that doesn't need to win any awards to know that it's dope, because you'd be able to feel it deep in your bones. And I'd be a poem that fills your soul with nourishment when you feel it all alone. And I'd be the poem that knows you typically don't love slam poetry, but somehow this one just changed your mind. And I'd be the poem that made you go back and read the last line 3 times. And I'd be the poem that made you go back and read the last line 3 times. And I'd be the poem that made you go back and read the last line 3 times. Thank you very much. Please follow me on WellPoet82 on Instagram. It's always cool to be back here. Thanks.
Oh man, excellent! All those pieces are just bomb. But you built up this like energy and pace and rhythm in that last one. I remember. Good stuff. Good stuff. Fall Poet, always a pleasure. And I did link the Substack there we did the 30 for 30 in April. Pretty fun submissions. I still need to like make a compilation. That's something I want to do. But man, you guys are all doing so amazing. We're gonna keep going, and again, we're gonna get international here, and we're gonna drop in the homie in Germany. It's AM, and it's like what 5 a.m. Super early for him, but he's got his music, some songs. It's Luis Gambero. So Luis, when you're ready, I'll shut up and you can take over. Get you on the screen.
Hey, Richie.
Yo.
I'm going to sing a fairly new song and a song by Iron and Wine. And don't let me interrupt you, all doze away. Anyway, listening to your politics. You said there must be a ghost in this house, but it's okay. Anyway, we can talk unfinished business. Why is it everywhere you go, everyone has their doors closed? Maybe everyone's asleep and lost in their dreams. Don't let me interrupt you. Go ahead and drink your life away so you forget what you read in the news. Brother, I know this is what you're used to. It's sad to say, it's the only way for us to start brand new. Why is it everywhere you go, everyone's on their phone, even when they cross the street? Maybe the message reads, honey, please don't go, let me just drive you home. My love, there's no need to fall into an endless sleep. All in good time, I gave it my best. I was alone till I found myself. Grew up to be a man more or less. All in good time. All in good time, I drifted away. I ran my mouth to have nothing to say. You broke my heart, then I was okay. All in good time. Throw your bread at falling birds, buried friends and wasted words. Something wants to eat us all alive. All in good time, my plan went to shit. I told my future by reading your lips. You wore my ring until it didn't fit. All in good time. All in good time, we suffered enough. We met our muscle when push comes to shove. Swept all that broken glass under the rug. All in good time. Dancing till we both collapse, wishing we could hide our traps. Something wants to eat us all alive. Time will land on our feet. Your mother will sigh, my soldier will sleep. We'll swim the ocean and fishes to sea. All in good time.
My name is Luis Camberos. My music's on SoundCloud and Bandcamp. Hope everyone is doing well. And Richie, like always, man, you're awesome. Thanks for hosting. And I love you, man. All right.
Heck yes, thank you, man. It's always great to hear your smooth sounds. And I'll tell you what, every day I get my memories like on Facebook and Instagram, and I remember from the Black Orchid days and like when we were recording stuff together. So good times, man. I'm looking back on one of those right now. I'm like, oh, we got to get back in the studio. No, thanks. I shared your links here in the chat, and Yeah, man. I hope you have a great day. I know it's the morning for you. All right, so we're gonna go from Germany to LA, where we have Tesosomok next up on the mic, and as always, it's time for a TES talk. So when you're ready, man, it's your turn. Yo.
All right, Richie. I didn't think I was gonna make it on the list. I go, man, I didn't hit the right saint there. San Casmeo, you know. So I have 1 and 1. We go back to the old days. Constitutional double vision. In the U.S., there's a carnival of rights, fictions, and federally subsidized gaslighting. We don't have a justice system. Don't be cute. We have 2. One is a palace of Alabama marble where the Constitution is treated like a newborn child, and every comma in the 4th and 6th Amendment are serenaded with a 4-string quartet. The other is a concrete oubliette disguised as administrative procedure where brides go to be quietly waterboarded by legal fictions in a fluorescent lit room. When the accused has a middle initial, Take James B. Comey Jr., yes, the FBI one, the calm down, facing federal criminal charges. The moment the indictment hit, the judiciary transformed into a forensics masterclass. Thou shalt respect the defendant's 4th and 6th Amendment rights. Courts launched full-scale expeditions into whether the government had particularized and factually grounded reasons to seek a grand jury materials, and an act treated as though Moses himself had parted the evidentiary Red Sea. Judges whispered to each other, "This is an extraordinary remedy, mi cielo," and issued scholarly footnotes like love letters contemplating whether misconduct had tainted the holy grand jury ritual. And because the government might have glanced at attorney-client privilege materials, not even used them, just inhaled their vibes, the court appointed a whole separate judge to monitor the integrity of the sacred parchment. The court even forced the government to turn over filtered, reviewed material so Mr. Comey could assert privilege like a gentleman, selecting cheeses from charcuterie board at a constitutional wine tasting. All this culminated in a 24-page judicial novella scolding federal agents for violating the 4th Amendment's particular requirement, accusing them of cavalier attitude towards search limits, and solemnly including that the defense must be allowed to probe potential government misconduct. The judicial system donned its powdered wig and said, "We will protect you from exploratory rummaging through your tiliches. We will shield you from your rights from even a breeze. Blessed be the Blu-ray disc seized 5 years ago, whose honor was defended with more passion than I snatch Home Depot day labor." The other system, administrative Hunger Games for the brown and the documentless, enter the world of immigration detention, the world's largest administrative detention network, a phrase that deserves its own war crimes tribunal. Here, due process is not just a right, it's not so much as a right as a rumor smuggling someone's Maruchan ramen magic trick. The deportation is labeled civil, a legal fiction so brazen it could qualify as an NEA performance art. This single doctrinal lie becomes the hydraulic lever used to deny positive right to government-funded counsel guaranteed in criminal cases. The INA generously affirms a right to counsel, but only at no expense to the government. Translation: get a lawyer, mijo, if you can sell a kidney to afford one. Without counsel, the detainees' other rights, their negative rights, their 4th Amendment protections become ornamental, like scapularies to San Jasmeo, decorative museum pieces. The system permits the microaggressions which is bureaucratic slang for we break your rights in so small pieces no one notices. Compare criminal courts agonize over whether a 5-year-old Blu-ray disc was lawfully seized. Immigration agents, they form suspicion from steamy tamales scent, parking lots, and Home Depot ambience. The system even suppresses the negative rights to retain counsel through logistical chokeholds. Detention centers sit 100 miles from cities, like medieval outposts where legal help can't reach without a horse, 3 papal bulls, and a blessing. Phone access, often non-existent, confidentiality cute. In Los Angeles, officers forced attorneys to keep the door open during private consultations. Anything whispered became public domain, and even after court orders, the practice continued. ¿Por qué? Why stop violating rights when no one with power cares? Inside the facilities, 90% of them for profit, with guaranteed bed quota, the smell of bubbling sewage becomes its own form of coercion. Waive your rights or sit another day with the drain demons. This isn't civil law, it's administrative punishment, weaponized through neglect and optimized for savings. The empire loves paper rights and private prisons. On one side, we get 24 pages, constitutional exegesis, hand-wringing over tainted grand juries, a full judicial panic attack over search particularity. On the other side, we get suspicion form at a Home Depot parking lot, denial of counsel by distance, noise, and sewage, structural suppression of communication, a detention regime that treats due process like a luxury commodity, 2 legal systems, one for citizens with a middle initial, one for the indigent, the stateless, the disposable. In one world, the government's cavalier attitude triggers scholarly outrage. In the other, it triggers quarterly profits. In one world, the Constitution is a trusted family relic. Charger ICE forgot to pack. The duality land back. Stolen land where civil means punitive, administrative means violent, and the justice bends toward those who already have a lawyer. Let's see if I can still remember how to play, Richie. Coyote on this lonely trail. Oh, so chasing dreams that seem so frail. Sad too. In the heart of the night. Coyote Celestia blue. In my heart, it's true. lost in this world of endless hue, feeling so askew, coyotes all the star here blue. With every step I take, searching for the path that cruel fire did take. Through the scorched and barren land, I roam without a guide. Every step is like shifted sand, and this fiery years of strife. But I won't let the flames erase the spirit deep in me. I'll find a way to a better place, where I long to be. Coyotes all the star here blue. In my heart it's true, lost in this world of endless hue, feeling so askew, coyotes all the star here blue. With every step I take, searching for the path that cruel, cruel fire did take. Summer star here blue.
All right, man. It's been a while. It's been a while.
Been a while.
You gotta promote the YouTube because it was a little laggy, it was a little choppy, but what we heard, I liked, man. I liked. But yeah, how can people
Sorry.
follow and support you online, man? If that's something you want to do.
Oh, I'm sorry, we were getting disconnected. It's raining over here, so we're not having a good connection. Folks can follow me on my Substack under tesosomok.substack.com, and then at Gaseous 2019 on Instagram. Thanks. Sorry for that. I mean, it's the best I could do tonight.
Nah, man, that's all we want. That's all we need. Appreciate having you on, man. Tez Talks, and we got the guitar action. I was gonna say you have the YouTube channel, Brown Buffalo Bluesman. I don't know if you keep that one up, but
Yeah, it is. It is up. Yeah.
all right. Do you have that one on there? The one you just played?
Yeah, it should.
Okay. Yeah, man. If there's a link it up.
It
That way,
should be all the stuff that I put.
Okay.
I'll add up to the chat.
Okay, yeah, please. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, man, you made the sky cry. There you go. All right, let's keep this moving along. Where are we? We're gonna come back. We're gonna go from LA to DC, and as far as I can see, we got Mr. One Fantastic, Mr. Ed Poetastic. So Ed, when you're ready, man, the stage is yours. Yo.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You deserve an extra encore. Woo! Thank you for fueling our cores. Hello, my name is Ed Potessalon, Finna Fantastic. Please, time to join my Ryan Fox Sublime. I got 10 jokes and 2 poems from 10 words from our wonderful poet Cassie McCoy. Thank you so much, Cassie McCoy. We can't thank you enough. We love you and Richie and Kit too. Thank you so much for pushing on through. All right. Are you ready, Kit?
Let's go.
Yeah. Why don't pilgrims tell secrets in the cornfield?
Oh. Oh, I saw that Twilight Zone. Does it have well, why don't pilgrims tell secrets in the cornfield?
There are too many ears around.
Oh. Can't be too careful. That's true.
Did you hear about the pilgrims? Sorry, did you hear about the pilgrim who's afraid of escalators?
Oh. I didn't hear about the pilgrim that's afraid of escalators. He's very ahead of his time in its life. But what was his deal?
He's taking steps to avoid them.
Well done.
Thank you. Where do pilgrims learn to surf?
I don't know. Where do pilgrims learn to surf?
Boarding school.
Oh, because of the okay.
Why are pilgrim libraries so tall?
I don't know. Why are pilgrim libraries so tall?
They have many stories.
Got it right when you. It occurred to me right as I said it out loud. I was like, "Oh, but it's too late. It's too late. I couldn't do anything about it."
What do you need to make Thanksgiving s'mores?
Well, that sounds like a great treat for the holidays. How do you make a Thanksgiving s'more? What do you need?
Pilgrims. If April showers bring May flowers, what do May flowers bring?
Pilgrim.
Yeah! Oh, yeah, pilgrims. Very nice. 2 pilgrims walk into a bar. You know what happens next?
What happened next?
The third one ducked.
Oh. Clever.
What's the best way to stuff a turkey?
I don't know. What is the best way to stuff a turkey?
Serve it pizza and ice cream.
I think that's terrible advice if you're a bird owner out there listening to this.
What's blue and covered in feathers?
Blue and covered in feathers, huh? What is it? What is that?
A turkey holding its breath. Bless you.
Thank you.
No
Sorry.
problem. Thank you so very much. Don't worry. I have 20 jokes next Monday.
All right.
Yeah. That's the
Alrighty.
spirit. All right. I got 3 poems. The first poem was a prop from our Cassie McCoy's workshop about being a non-earthling trying to describe something. So I'm a alien trying to understand poetry. Woo. So this is Out of This World. I come in peace. Please be at ease. I come to this planet, even I haven't planned it. I come from a galaxy far away, as my skin is colored of gray. This planet is strange. Well, I'm not used to change. What is language I hear? I come in peace. I am sincere. He's speaking in rhyme. It's such a unique chime. Hey, human, do you have time? What is this thing called poetry? Why do you smile with joy and glee? is how humans communicate. I thought humans just debate and hate. Please tell me more behind the door. It's fueling my... What's that? Oh, core. What does poetry mean to me? Free. It's like the stars in the sky or the clouds blowing up high. It's what humans call art. Did I hit the mark or ignite the spark? We don't have poetry where I come from. Please forgive me for being dumb. Can I borrow your pointy doohickey? Wow, it's not slimy or sticky. Poetry is a universal phenomena with a deep kiss of euphoria. Poetry is not just language, it could be a passage of homage. I learn a lot, but I have to go. No, isn't going to explode. No, there is no nudity or probes. No, my fingers don't magically glow. You are a strangely odd earthling. Well, please, and keep on writing. Thank you. This other one is a hint of, well, it's a ghost trying to possess you. So this is called Outer Nirvana. My consciousness is in the air. Sorry, my consciousness is in the wind, towards nowhere or within. My thoughts are like leaves dancing in the brainstem of my tree. I never felt this way before. Something knocks on the door. I'm the sun in deep space, the energy swirling without a trace. What is this feeling that keeps me reeling? My senses escape me. My heart is open free. The euphoria is intoxicating. The sensation is suffocating. The orchestra is playing loud. The mind is hearing many sounds. Oh, Spirit, be my light to brighten up my night. I think this pure nirvana, the feeling of the Dalai Lama. I'm the wood and the flame. I'm the winner of this game. Oh no, I'm winding down. Now my body weighs in pounds. How can this possibly be? I feel like I'm stung by bees. My thoughts, please come back before my awareness fades to black. Please give me more time. The taste of lemon lime. Thank you. This other one is called Disquieting Place. Anxiety is a sickness, the lethal toxic kiss. The worries rain down, drown out the sounds. Anxiety's howling at me. My mouth is full of bees. Why do you hold us ransom? Why are you our venom? We look into your eyes, your mouth slowly rise. You swallow us, you snake. As we cry salty blue lakes, we try to frantically crawl out. We're full of regret and doubt. We paralyze in sorrow, dreading what's tomorrow. We're your succulent prey as we liquefy and pray. As we silently think back, Nelson gray and black, as we frozen as a deer by my chilling fear. Why do you punish us as our energy turned to dust? Why do you gel us as we're trapped in a gust? We stay in a dark tomb, our blackened seal cocoon, our chest runs empty, our belly in a frenzy. We're sinking as a rock or a really bad stock. We choke on our nerves, we're suffocating in the curse. Let's end up let's end on a high note. What's the pure antidote? How do we dispose of fear? It's to switch your gears. You feel your worries. Please don't be uneasy. Fear doesn't control you. That's your bright clue. I know it's just, I know, but don't bust. Learn about your fear. I'm being very sincere. You won't burn if you learn. Your courage will return. Fear is in your puppet master. Don't let it be your great disaster. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you as always for the jokes and the poems. Ed, where can the fine people at home follow and support you online?
Well, you can follow me and support me online. Welcome to this wonderful, stupendous, and fantastic open mic that makes our Monday Night Light in the wonderful, fantastic spotlight. All right. But you will follow me, plus free. My Facebook is Eddie Foreman. But If you want some poetry, I'll be there to spread some glee. But never forget that you that you are more important than you ever know. Don't stop your glow, never stop your flow. If you don't know, now you know. I love this show. Woo!
Awesome. Thank you, Ed. And of course, if you don't know, now you know. All right, we're gonna get international once again, and she's been name dropped so many times today's show because she just led the most recent version of Tumble Words. Without further ado, in Ontario, Canada, we've got Cassie. Cassie, when you're ready, I'll get you here in the spotlight. Hello, hello.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thanks. All right. Um, this first piece is called tentatively titled The Curse of the Poet. Perhaps the curse of the poet is the proclivity to feel caught between the grand reach of the pen and all the water beyond it. Ever left untouched, the poet can't help but long for the pen to make contact, to create waves, or at least vibrant ripples, while still craving moisture on their fingertips. All right, so that's my first short piece. I just have to make sure I have the other one up here in front of me. Okay, so this is called Take the Long Way. I must rewrite my heuristics. I'm no longer available to rely on my most proximal self to second guess how well my neurons are firing, whether they're taking the right pathways. I am no longer clearing the road to how much of what I am not. I'll have to start taking the long way, when I'm asked to arrive at who I am. Until I find shortcuts to my potential, I must shed my attachment to old paths, cease the foot traffic, let them be overtaken by greenery. And I believe I will leave it there for originals. I have a couple cover poems I was gonna read tonight. Just give me one moment here. Okay, so this first poem is called Note by W.S. Merwin. Remember how the naked soul comes to language, and it once knows loss, distance and believing. Then for a time, it will not run with its old freedom, like a light innocent of measure, but will hearken to how one story becomes another, and will try to tell where they have emerged from and where they are heading, as though they were its own legend, running before the words and beyond them, naked and never looking back, through the noise of questions. And I have one more cover poem here. This is called Child's Pose. I believe this poet's name is pronounced Brenona Jane, but I might be wrong with that. I had to double check that, but I have forgotten how to pronounce it. So this is Child's Pose. Imagine your heart is just a ball you learned to dribble up and down the length of your driveway back home. Slow down, control it. Plant your feet in the soft blue of your mat and release. It is hard, but slowly you are unlearning the shallow pant of your childhood. Extend your body, do not reach for someone, but something fixed, fleshless, and certain. Fold Flatten, then lift your head like a cobra sure of the sun, waiting and ready to caress the chill from its scales. Inhale. Try not to remember how desperate you've been for touch. Yes, ignore it. That hitch of your heart you got from mornings you woke to find mama hysterical or gone. Try not to give up the certainty she'd never, try to give up the certainty she'd never return. Recall only the return and not its coldness. Imagine her arms wide to receive you. Imagine you are not a thing that needs escaping. It is hard, and though at times you are sure you will always be the abandoned girl trying to abandon herself, push up, arch deep into your back, exhale, and remember, when it is too late to pray at the end of the flood, we pray instead just to survive it. Right, so those are the pieces that I have for tonight and the cover poems. If you are curious to encounter more of my work, the best way to do so would be to try and catch me when I infrequently post on social media, on Instagram at Relentless Intrigue. I do also very occasionally facilitate online generative poetry workshops. And the easiest way to find out more about those would be also to go to my Instagram at Relentless Intrigue. All right, Richie, I'll pass it back to you. Thank you, everyone.
All right, thank you, Cassie. Appreciate it. Love the set, and again, congrats on the successful workshop and to many more. I know that yours are pretty awesome. So again, all of you out there listening and hear the sound of my voice, if you want to do some generative writing, do some workshops, hit up Cassie. Relentless Intrigue. Okay, we have our closer, Mr. Daniel, or AKA Dan the Man. So Dan, when you're ready, go ahead and get your camera on. I'll get you on the spotlight. Yo, there you are.
Okay, give me a minute.
Of course, I should have known.
I'm trying to finish up the last part here. What I was gonna say, what I was gonna say, the last part, how you steal, and that's how it makes us feel.
Oh, it sounds like you finished it. So
almost.
You're up, Dan. All right,
I always know.
Okay, really quick then. I'm gonna mute you, and when you're ready, unmute. But really quick to our viewers, our listeners, again, if you're an EPCC student and you're still here, if you're listening to this part of the show, you're looking for the Tejano Passport code, the directions to get that are in the description of this YouTube video. Again, if you are in the El Paso region, come hit us up at one of our in-person open mics. We have 3 this week, and they're all varied in their own way. So again, downtown Tuesday, we have our Verse and Harmony open mic at Rosewood. That's music and poetry. Sign up starts at 8 p.m. Show starts after 9. That's going to be hosted by Dorima, who you heard tonight. Wednesday, we have Storycraft, the return at Crown of Crows, also downtown El Paso. That one starts a little earlier. Sign up starts at 6:30. The first drawing is at 7. Again, we choose order by drawing of names from a cup, and you have up to 15 minutes to share any kind of prose or storytelling that you've brought with you. And that's going to be hosted by Fernando, aka the King Grizz, host of the Kiss FM morning show, along with Iris and Grizz in the morning, of course. And Thursday, we're going to be at Old Sheepdog Brewery in South Central El Paso, hosted by Kit Wren, who you've also heard tonight. And that's going to be sign up at 7 p.m., show after 8 p.m., delicious beer, great food. You can interchange those. It's also great food and delicious beer. Delicious food and great beer. All right, Dan, you ready? Because you've had the whole show to finish this.
I got held up by my own mother. What do you think?
Now I know. Sorry for asking. All right. Here you go. Spotlight.
Okay. I'm gonna get a picture of this. Hang on. Trying to see. Okay, let me see here. Great. Okay, I think I'm gonna try it. Okay, give me a second here. Yeah, as you may know, yes, here it is. Eddie Guerrero. Yep, El Paso zone. He lies, he cheats, he steals. That's how it feels. You go with that's what we know. You go with the flow. Hold on. There we go. All right, hold on. Yeah, trying to get this. Hang on. There we go. Yeah. As I was mhm. As I was saying, Eddie, yeah. El Paso zone. Yep. El Paso zone of wrestling's legacy. We know he's the Latino heat that's always can't be beat, but it ain't like the silly feet. And it's like you're watching Homicide Life in the Street. Orale. Yeah. Well, yeah, even though he's El Paso zone, he's like one of his greatest Latino heat legacies all around the wrestling legend. We know hometown legends grown here and now. We always know lie, cheat, and steal. It's the silly part that we feel, good guy or heel. Just always just storylines goes with the flow. Yeah. Well, he made us laugh like ha 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 or fa la 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 la. But he definitely stole our hearts in a good way. Mañana will be his day, Eddie Guerrero Day. But what can we say? And it's always the wrestling legends at bay, hometown. But even though, never frown, but turn your frowns around because we always say, Viva la raza. Oh, what can we say? We can call it a Eddie Guerrero Plaza, or where you can try a Caparza, but we always say Viva la raza. Yeah, so well, 2 decades has flown. Well, never expect his life would or ended in an unexpected flow. And but even though we always know that he is always El Paso's own. So, and oh, for Pete's sake, hold on. 2 decades. It's been 20 years. Always have the hometown with tears. Well, but we can always still celebrate. Why not wait? Always. Viva la raza. Yep. Okay. All right. With all the night and all the light right here. Okay, Richie, let's go ahead and call it a night.
Sure you don't want one more photo? One more photo shoot? Okay. All right. There you go. Nice
I'll
shirt.
try.
All right. I want to thank everyone who signed up this Monday to join us online and do their thing, and then everyone who tuned in. Again, this is our Monday night live show, but this is always a video on demand. So as soon as we're done, it is available on YouTube. You can check our whole archive of past episodes, 200 plus. I mean, we're getting close to. I mean, at this point, I always forget to do the math until it's this point again. But yeah, we've been doing it since every Monday since April of 2020. That's adding up. Again, next Monday, join us for our poetry potluck. And if you want to read someone's piece, hit them up this week and ask them for a copy so you can read it out loud. Other than that, hope to see you guys around this week. I hope everyone does have a great week. Be safe out there. And we'll see you next Monday at the online mic. As always, we're going to hang out a little bit after we hit the end stream button